Hello everyone, it's me once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also read Genesis 7 and 8. So previously we said that God saw all the sin in the world and was ready to destroy it, but Noah found favor with the Lord. So God decided to save Noah and his family. Now Genesis 7 and 8, this is the actual part in which God destroys everything except Noah, his family, and a bunch of animals. Now, before we get into anything else, let's talk about God's role in Noah's boat. If you pay close attention to these chapters, you can see that God himself is the one that closes the door of the boat. And you can say, why is this even important? Well, this is super significant because by God himself closing the door, he was saying, that's it. If you are inside this boat, I have chosen you. You will live. You are the remnant, and everything else outside will perish.
We're gonna die!
Revelations 3:7 says that what he closes, no one can open. Every time I read this story, I think about this same thing. Everyone outside was Noah's family. There were his cousins, his nephews, his great-great-grandnephews. They were all family. And these people had never in their life seen water fall from the sky. It's like if we see fire falling from the sky, that clearly screams the apocalypse. Same thing here. Water falling from the sky had never happened. They probably knew something was wrong. But God himself was the one that closed the door. So that's it. If you weren't in that boat, no salvation for you. Now another thing. Do you guys think that the boat was perfect? It was the most awesome, well-built boat ever. It was perfect. You know, that thing could withstand a bunch of storms. It could sail over the water for months with no issues whatsoever. Now, personally, I don't think the boat was perfect. Because what saved Noah and his family and all those animals was not the boat. It was God. It was the grace of God. It was their faith that God had promised to save them and he was going to come through. It was the protection of God that saved them, not only the boat that they built. Now, I'm not going to get into detail about the number of days that it rained, and then after the rain, it was all flooded, and then God suddenly remembered Noah and brought this wind to lower down the water. If you want to know all those details, go ahead, read the Bible. Every time I read this story, I find it super incredible that these people were in this boat for more than a year. We all know what it's like to be confined in our houses, not being able to go anywhere. But this was a whole different level. This was hardcore quarantine. I mean, they were confined in the boat with a bunch of animals, like thousands of animals. I'm pretty sure it smelled kind of funny in there. And they're finally free, fresh air, no more stinky animals. And the first thing Noah does is not find a place to live or figure out what he's going to do next. The first thing he does is present an offering before God. God sees that offering and he promises to never destroy humanity that same way again. God knows we sin. God knows that we still do evil, but he chooses to have patience with us. The story of the flood and of Noah are one of the most underestimated stories in the Bible. Yeah, it's about this dude and his family that are saved from the apocalypse by building a large boat. But this is one of the biggest stories of faith. So yeah, we can build a boat that we think is awesome, and no matter what problems come to our life, the boat we built will save us. But what saves us is not the things we build for ourselves, the things we build with our own hands. What saves us is the grace of God and the faith in knowing that he has my life in his hands, that he promised to save us and he will come through. And as the New Testament says, we're not saved by works. We're saved by the faith in Christ.